In your personal log, where you thought no one would ever read it.
I didn't think anyone would. I was wrong about that.
The personal log had never been meant to be found. Jace had kept it the way certain people keep things they cannot say out loud, carefully, privately, in the small hours of the night cycle when the ISV sovereign was quiet and the stars outside his quarters window were the only audience he had been keeping for 14 months. He had been serving as the sovereign's tactical commander for 16 months, assigned to the vessel as the coalition's senior military representative during Princess Lyra's diplomatic circuit through the outer systems. His job was simple in its description and complicated in its execution. Keep the Vel'nari princess alive, keep the ship operational, and maintain the kind of professional distance that the coalition's interspecies conduct protocols required of officers assigned to foreign royal details. He had maintained the professional distance impeccably, every report filed, every protocol observed, every interaction conducted with exactly the correct calibration of respect and appropriate formality. And then he had gone to his quarters at night and written the truth in the personal log, because the truth had to go somewhere. He had written about the way she debated the trade delegates, precisely, without mercy, with an intelligence that made everyone in the room slightly more careful about what they said next. He had written about the morning he had found her on the observation deck at 0400, alone with the galaxy turning slowly in the viewport, and she had said, without greeting, without preamble, "Does it ever make you feel small, or does it make you feel the opposite?" And he had thought about it honestly and said the opposite, and she had turned and looked at him as if he had confirmed something. He had written about 14 months of small things that accumulated into something large. He had never intended for her to read it. The data breach had been minor, a cascade fault in the ship's personal storage system during a jump transit, the kind of event that temporarily made private files accessible across crew accounts before the system isolated and corrected itself. It lasted 11 minutes. In those 11 minutes, Princess Lyra's personal tablet had pulled a synchronization update that included, among other things, the contents of Commander Jace's personal log. She had not been looking for it. She had been reading a diplomatic brief when the file appeared. His name on the header. 14 months of entries. The most recent dated 3 days ago. She had read it in 40 minutes, sitting very still, reading the way you read something, that is, rearranging the furniture inside you as you go. Then she had set the tablet down and sat with it for 2 hours. Then she had gone to find him. He was on the observation deck, not at 0400 this time, but at 1900, the quiet hour before the evening crew change, when the deck was usually empty. He was looking at the galaxy in the viewport, the way she had seen him look at it before, not admiringly exactly, more like consulting it. "Commander," she said. He turned, and whatever was in his face when he saw hers told him immediately that she knew, because he had written about what it looked like when she was about to say something that mattered. And she was looking at him exactly the way he had described it in entry 37. You wrote it down, he said, in your personal log, or you thought no one would ever read it. He held himself very ill. The galaxy moved behind her in the viewport, pink and blue and white and immense. I didn't think anyone would, he said. I was wrong about that. In entry 42, she said quietly, you wrote that you had decided it was enough to simply be in proximity to something you could not have. That you had made your peace with it. Yes. Did you mean that? He thought about it honestly because she deserved honesty more than she deserved. Comfortable answer. I was trying to, he said. Lyra looked at him for a long moment. Outside, the galaxy turned in its slow, indifferent way, and the crescent of a distant moon hung in the upper right of the viewport, like punctuation. My people have a custom, she said carefully, when something is given without expectation of return. Someone offers true thing and asks for nothing back. The Vel'nari consider that a debt, not social debt, real one, the kind that requires an honest response. Jace waited. You gave me 14 months of truth, she. And you gave it without asking for anything, without even intending for me to know. She took a step toward him. That is the purest form of the thing. By Vel'nari, understanding the truth given without audience is the only truth that cannot be performed. He understood what she was doing, giving him a framework, structure, through which to receive what she was about to say, so that he would understand it was real and not obligation. He had written in entry 12, the most precise person he had ever encountered. The honest response, she said when she was close enough that the galaxy behind her filled his entire field of vision, is that I have been reading a document for 40 minutes that described the last 14 months of my life from the inside. The description was more accurate than my own memory of it was. That is not a small thing. No, he said. It is not something I can set aside and proceed as if I do not know it. I know, he said. I'm sorry for the complication. She shook her head. More precise. You misunderstand. Am not here because it is a complication. She looked at him with those blue eyes that he had described in entry 6 as the color of deep water, in which you could see the bottom clearly. I am here 'cause you were trying to make your peace with something you thought you could not have, and I would like to offer you the information that you were wrong about that too. The galaxy turned outside the viewport. The Sovereign moved through deep space at its steady cruise velocity, carrying its crew in its diplomatic mission and 2 people standing in the observation deck at 1900 hours with the entirety of everything between them. Suddenly, Completely changed. Jace looked at her, at the tear that had found its way down one cheek. Without her having wiped it away, 'cause she was Vel'nari and precise, but she was also here and present and real. He lifted his hand and caught tear gently, the way you handle something you understand the value of. Entry 43, he said quietly.